Hi guys, so my name's Liz. I'm an eWolf coach and I'm graduating in the spring of 2020. So that means that I won't be there to teach you guys physically how to do a class tour. So I'm hoping this video helps you. I'm gonna go over how I would normally do a class tour, and then I'm also gonna give you guys some tips as well that I've learned during my experience doing class tours. So the first thing when dealing with a class tour is you want to make sure that you get there at least 10 to 15 minutes early, so that way you're able to set up your computer, get the projector ready, and also you can talk to the professor about the portfolio. So the couple questions I always ask is if um, the professor is publishing or if they're submitting. Those two things are very different. Submitting is to an assignment that the teacher has created, but if the teacher hasn't created an assignment, then they're just going to publish, which is just sharing essentially to the teacher and also to the classmates. Um, and then you go through the portfolio with the teacher, make sure everything looks good, that everything's how they want it to be. And then once the class starts, when everyone gets settled and all that, the teacher will most likely introduce you. Once the teacher gives you the floor, go ahead and introduce yourself. Give your title, which is an eWolf coach. You can, what I like to do is ask the students to raise their hand to see who's worked with the portfolio, so that way I can get a range of who's worked with what and how deep I need to go into this. So the first thing you're going to do when you're doing your presentation is you want to get them to the ePortfolios. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can either type in the UAA Digication and it'll bring you right here. It's going to be at the very top. You tell them that they're going to be using their username and their password for Blackboard to get into it, and you can log in. Or another way you can do it is you can just go to the UAA main page. You go ahead and click on that. They can go to quick links, and it's going to be eWolf ePortfolio. So those are two ways I like to give the students options, so they can either just type in the URL or they can go to the UAA main page and do that. So it gives them options. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down to courses. You're going to show them your course. So I'm going to go ahead and show you COM A241. This is going to be a class that you're going to be working with every semester. So you click on that. You're going to go to ePortfolios, and then you're going to create portfolio from template. I normally like to instruct the students to write their name and also the class, which is COM A241, just so that when they're looking at their portfolios, because they may have multiple portfolios, that they know which one is for this class, and also the teacher knows for which class and who the student is. And then you're going to press create. And depending on which building you're in and how the internet's doing, it may do this process right away, or it just may take a second. If it takes a second, just go ahead and tell the students to press the exit button right here, and it should be within their portfolios at the very top. And then once that's done, I normally stop and ask if anyone has any questions or if people are having problems getting to it, so that way students aren't missing out on the technical part of the portfolio. So it normally takes a couple minutes because there's normally a couple students that are completely lost, and you just go next to that student and you just help them work it through it while the other students kind of play around with the portfolio. And then once you've gotten all the students caught up to where you're at, they all have their portfolio in front of them. That's when you get into more of the technical. So you let them know that um, if they want to write something, there's already a space and they're going to click on this pencil. And that's how they're going to be able to write in their reflections. So that's one way to do it. And then once I've shown them how to write, I show them that they're able to change their font, which would be in that settings button right that I clicked. And then you can show them different fonts. I normally try to pick a font that is clearly different from the one just so they could see the difference. I show them that they can change the size of it. They can also play around with color with their font if they want. The alignment. So I'm just able to kind of show them that they can play around with it if they want. And then they can also play around with the color of the background as well. So, and then the opacity, which kind of changes the color from light to dark if the students wanted to do that. And then once I've kind of shown them the text aspect of it, I go into the add content button. This button is going to be their best friend. It's going to be the button they're going to be using the most. And within this class tour, their main thing is reflections and videos. So that's what you're going to focus on here. So for the reflections, there's two ways that they can do this. They can either enter it in as a rich text, and they can type in their reflections, or they can upload through their Google Drive, or they can upload through a file, depending on if they've done it through Word or anything like that. So it kind of gives them the option. And then the second thing that they're going to be working with is videos. So what they're going to be doing in class is they do speeches and they record themselves on their phone. So what they're going to do is they're going to upload their videos from their phone to their computer, and you just show them to click upload, and then they find their video, which it will upload automatically onto there. And then I also like to go over what's in the add content section, just because most likely they will be working with the portfolio at some point in their college classes again. So you just kind of go over kind of like they can record audio, they record video, they can connect their Google Drive to their ePortfolio, and also the embed, which allows them to embed videos from like YouTube or any other website. And so once you're done with the add content, then I like to go into more of the design aspect of it. So I always give the students a chance. So you go to the settings, and right here, this is for like the top layer of it, and this is for like the bottom. So you can kind of show them different color combinations that they're able to do. They can make the colors lighter or darker depending on what they want. Or they can also do pictures. So whether it's their favorite background picture or just a picture that they like, so they can upload. I'm going to click for my previous uploads. And then, so they're able to do that, and they're able to kind of play around with the pictures if they wanted to. And then once I've shown them their background, I go into how they're going to turn this into their teacher. So you're going to go up to the menu bar. And for this class specifically, the teacher doesn't have an assignment, so you're just going to show them how to publish. So all they're going to do is they're going to click on Publish Pages, make sure that all pages is selected, and then you just click Publish, and then that will share the portfolio with their teacher. And one thing that I always like to make sure, because sometimes teachers don't set it up, is that it doesn't share with the teacher. So an easy way to check to make sure that it is shared with the class and the teacher is if you go to settings, and then you can see right here it's shared with COM 02 with the faculty and the students, so both the teacher and the students can look at the portfolio. And so that's one thing that I'm always looking at. And then if they ever want to delete something, they just go ahead and click on delete. Remind them that the reason why we require them to type in delete is because when something's deleted, like if it's a rich text, it can't come back. But if it's like an upload or a picture, they can just go to previous uploads and they can easily extract that. And then if they want to move, like say their rich text, they could do that, or they can make it bigger, depending on how you like it. And then that's normally where, again, I take time, and because we've just given them a buttload of information about if they have any questions for me, if they had any difficulties with any of the things I talked about. And then you might get a couple students, you might not. And then once that's done, I like to go over how they can use the portfolio even after they're graduated, because they have that option that even once you graduate UAA, you still have access to the Digication, so you can continue using it for like a job interview. I know that a lot of companies now are looking for digital portfolios, so this is one way that you could talk about, which is really nice, is that they can keep using this after they graduate. And then I like to go back to like my home page, and then I would normally show them what their portfolios could look like and what they can use. So this is my personal portfolio that I've been working on for about a year now, and you'll be making one of these as well. This is something that an eWolf coach has to do. It's peak. So I like to show them like how I've designed it, how I've played with font and pictures and also layout. You can show them that. And then you can also show them some of our featured portfolios, which are portfolios that are just really good quality. Like this one right here is our design library, which was made by Shamai, who I'm sure you'll be working very closely with. She made this so that if people are having problems like coming up with their own designs, they can easily take this. So like we'll go to the green and gold, which is like the UAA Pride colors. So this is what they'll look like. And what Shamai's done is she's gotten the font family, the font size, the background layers, and then they can also download the background image onto the computer, download it straight into their portfolio. It gives them a really nice, and then you can also show them some of the other ones. If you have personal ones you like, you can show them that. And just showing them what they can do with their portfolio so they can kind of get a little excited and play around with it. And again, once you're done with that, you can see if they have any questions. Normally, you'll probably stay to about, depending on how long the teacher wants you, you may leave right after the portfolio, or you may stay for the rest of the class period, and as the students are working on it, you can kind of help them if they get stuck in anything. And so that is how I would do a class tour for this class, which is COM A241. I hope this video kind of helps you and gives you kind of a guideline of how you do a class tour. Of course, every coach kind of gets their own style and how to do it. So definitely play around with how you want to present this and make it kind of your own. I know that everyone has their own style, me included. So I wish you luck, and I hope that you have fun. I had a blast being an eWolf coach. Definitely gonna miss it. And all right, that's the end of the video. Have fun!